What do I know about Quakers? Not too much, actually.
I'm ignorant on the subject matter.
They make nice furniture.
They're not really technologically advanced.
They're cool.
I know that Quakers founded the state of Pennsylvania with William Penn, that they're very peaceful people.
They're good people.
They're peace-loving, and they don't believe in war.
It's a Christian-based organization.
They're nonviolent. They believe in respecting everyone's opinions.
Very down-to-earth people. No frills, no fancy thing, no electricity, no televisions, no anything along those lines.
Their simple life was to live the life of God, that God would provide for them. They didn't need all these adornments and materialistic things in life to bring them closer to God.
Every morning when I go eat oatmeal, I see a Quaker on the front of the box. So I really appreciate that.
There's cereal. There's oatmeal. It's good.
The only thing I know is that mascot for UPenn.
Quakers march for peace. They don't believe in war. As far as worshiping God, they believe that God's in every one of them.
They were very helpful during the slavery, that they were anti-slavery.
I know they believe in God. And I know that they do tremendous social and humanitarian work.
A lot of us could do well just to emulate them a little more than we do.
The Quaker meeting, that it's a time of reflection and quiet and people expressing themselves as they feel, the spirit.
I come here to be reconnected with God and to connect with the others in our community of faith who are doing the same thing. It inspires me, it guides me, it refreshes me, renews me to go out in the world, and it is the very center and the foundation for my being. It is just the very fabric of my life. The silence is a time to be able to settle, to declutter all those things that have been happening in my life, and to just be open to the Spirit and to guidance and direction of God. And it's most supportive to do it in community with other people who are doing the same. It's one thing to have just a relationship with God, but it's another to have a relationship in community with other people.
I've been thinking a lot about how rich connection to community and spirit can lead us as individuals and community to take action and to be agents of change and to do service at a greater level.
Everything that we do in life, we're either going up towards heaven or we're falling down again.
We're what they call a semi-programmed Friends meeting. And that means that we do have a sermon and we sing some hymns, but we also usually have a big block, 20 minutes or so, of quiet prayer time or quiet worship.
A challenge for us is always, at any time and any place, is to be engaged in an active conversation and dynamic with our God to remove the barriers where we can.
So with humility, we watch with eyes that take on not only the physical realities that humanity faces, but the spiritual ones as well. We watch and we call out evil. We watch and we applaud justice.
We have an evangelical perspective. We really are attentive to Christ and Christ's presence here among us, as well as Scripture is important.
gives us a center or foundation based on Scripture.
There will be earthquakes in various places and famines. These are the beginnings of birth pains.
We want to allow a variety of space in our worship, so quiet, contemplative. Also some bells and music and teaching from Scripture, and that kind of creates this environment where we as a community can come together and worship how God created us, because God created us unique and different, each individual.
Friends Services for the Aging is a cooperative association of Quaker-affiliated organizations, programs, and individuals devoted to enhancing care for older adults that is rooted in the values of the Religious Society of Friends. These programs are guided by the belief that there is that of God in all people and the concern for the quality of life for all members of the human family.
I'm a refugee from Laos. After the Vietnam War, we got approved to come to the United States. And we didn't know that Willis-Town Friends Meeting in West Town become our sponsor. We have no idea. And from that time, we are so pleased because the Friends is take me to the United States. And we don't know that Friends is a religion. We are Buddhism. The way the Quaker do the worship is similar to us. And we sit down quiet. The person who talks is only the monk. When I get here, the Hickman, they need a maintenance man. I have no idea what a maintenance man do. So they brought me here and applied the job. Miss Bailey, she asking me to collect the clothes from the basement here that the resident give to her and put in the box and put in the bags. I asked Miss Bailey, what do you do with these clothes? She said, they sent abroad. Oh, I said, Miss Bailey, these clothes that you sent over from here to Laos, that's what I wear to school. She said, really? I said, yeah, I wear that clothes. A little bit big because we are small, but we can do the alteration to make it fit. So I wear that thing to school every day. That I don't know that clothes came from Friends or Quaker. I'm so proud. I'm so happy that the clothes came from Friends. Every morning I come, I see the resident face, good morning, came in, and that's my prize for my life.
And out, and back, and 2, let's count, and 3, 4, 5, 6,
Cookies are fun. We like flour to make the cookies.
When you're a pirate, you should have a sword.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I left it home.
In your pirate ship?
Way down on the river.
I like the atmosphere that you can be independent and yet you're being taken care of anytime, night and day.
I'm just so happy. I felt like the weight of the world has been taken off my shoulders because I found a place that my mother's happy with and that I have a lot of faith in.
There's a value system, that a set of values that we live by that makes living in this community a very good experience.
It's a good place.
Yes, very, very caring people.
And that has been really made us feel part of community very quickly.
Because of the Friends' values, they will find a comfortable home that respects whatever their background is.
They believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every single individual.
What came through was an attitude of respect and care, and an attitude of trying to keep the residents as independent as possible, as long as possible.
I'm very comfortable here. I'm very happy and grateful to be here. People are so kind to us, very kind to us.
I think that employees understand we want them to engage in relationship building with the elders of this community in a way that feels like family. This is a place where love is made visible by service, meaning that how you are treated is part of the human connection and how we make visible making our lives better through care.
You all are now employees of a Friends organization. We think you deserve to know more about Quakerism and what creates the set of values within which you'll be working. Quakerism began in the mid-1600s in England, and that was a very turbulent time. The Bible had only in the last decades become available to people to read. There was political and military and social upheaval in England. There were contests between Catholics and Protestants, and there were a lot of splinter groups, and Quakers were one of those splinter groups. And Quakerism was started by a man by the name of George Fox. George Fox, as a young man, was very troubled. And what came to him was that he didn't need priests or altars or stained glass windows or dogmas to help him find God or to learn directly from God, but that any person can have a direct experience with God, became a revolutionary idea, because it suggested at a very profound level that all of us are equal. This led to what's become a very familiar phrase in Quakerism of the belief that there is a spark of the divine or that of God in each person. Quakers began to use language that expressed their sense of equality. That led Friends to come to the clarity that it was absolutely untenable for Quakers to be slaveholders. George Fox believed and taught that people of faith should lead their lives today in ways that take away the occasion for wars, that ultimately can lead to a better world. You really become part of this tradition of trying to make the world a better place. And for you, it's making the world a better place for the seniors for whom you're caring.
What can I do for you? Put me to bed. Put you to bed?
The issue of how to deal with people with dementia in a way that respects the independence and dignity of the individual challenges us each day.
As a caregiver, you help residents reach their highest levels of functions. People at the age sometimes come with challenges and dementia that people do not remember things. It doesn't mean again that they have lost their personality, just that they cannot communicate things the way they want to do. There are people like ourselves, they have basic needs, and sometimes they have it difficult to communicate what their needs are. But just by knowing the resident, you tend to sense what he or she really means, and you try to fill in that need. One of the basic things to do, knowing your resident, the communication piece, listening to them, just focusing at them, looking at them, listening to them.
Note N-O-T-E.
Respect of the resident is our number one goal. They are people of dignity.
had a stroke. That was the start of my problems. And then when I got out of rehab and I come home, I fell and broke my hip. And then it was back into the hospital again, and then back into rehab again. Very difficult to adjust to not being independent. I also had to turn in my license, my driver's license, which of course left me without a means of transportation. I have my own business, and I had to hire a CEO to run the facility. It's just a very, very hard thing to do. It's been a positive thing that happened in my life also, because I see how many people are willing to go out of their way for you. It's amazing.
This place and this setting has enabled me to live my beliefs in the value of all people and all individuals. Looking at each person for who they are as an individual person, not just someone that needs something done for them. It's interdependence. There's as much or more given to me in the course of my day here than I give to somebody else.
It's something about this place that's very special, and I feel like I'm here with my family because I love being around elderly. I love helping people. I got trained by Lillian Millerton. She had been here 42 years, and she taught me that it's all about caring, you know.
Some of my residents, some of them is unable to walk, some's unable to see. So you become part of those eyes, you become part of those footsteps, you become part of those hands that can't feed themselves.
Ernie, Benzo's medicine. Are you ready for lunch?
I really love my residents. I'm not from here, I'm from Texas, and I have no family here, and it's like they're my family, and I love them.
Our affiliation with the home care service started with my parents. My mom insisted on considering a plan that would allow both her and my dad to stay in their homes as long as possible. My parents' experience with a care coordinator really made the difference.
And the last thing we want to do is burden our kids with our health care needs.
But I think the reason why this has made sense for us is because of its holistic approach. It's not just there for when we're ill or incapacitated. It's there to keep us healthy. So it's helped us to be thinking about how to stay healthy. Linda and I got to participate in an experimental program run by the organization, which actually was life-changing for us. So one thing we've done since we've cracked 60 is we've ramped up our exercise as a result of what we learned from the program rather than decrease it. The fact that the program is Quaker-based has had a significant impact on our decision to subscribe to this program.
all these remarkable people who serve us in places like this, in the medical side, with the food service, and all the rest of it. They make an enormous difference for us. It's almost like an extended family. God bless them, I say. They're wonderful. I think a good staff person would need a lot of patience, because sometimes we old people can be exasperating, but we don't mean to be. It's just the fact that we're getting old. And especially if we've got some degree of discomfort or pain, one tends to get a bit edgy as well. But don't let that put you off. We appreciate what you're doing, and you are making an enormous difference.
Well, let's keep bringing.
All right, buddy.
As the years go by, you notice that you're going to every one of the memorial services because they're your friends, and you become more conscious of the different ways we approach death and dying. Many go so bravely and are such an inspiration that you're glad to have had the experience of witnessing it. Many go, and you are just delighted they have gone because they have been so sick. And you know that they want to be released, and will even say that to you, as one did to me this week. So you should realize when you work in a place like this that death becomes very familiar, not scary, frequently a friend, but very often a very present friend.
It's been a work of love every time I come in here.